Hello and good day. Um, we are going to quickly go over correction to the assignment. It is well with my soul. And from the previous class, we already know how to transcribe this sheet music into software notation. So I'm not going to waste too much time on that. So I'll just go straight and write out the notes. Right? So this is so, right? Mi, mi, re, right? Do, right? So I'm transcribing the auto part very quick. T, do, T, right? T, re, do, and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to write it out real quick. So the purpose of this video is to make some corrections to some mistakes I saw in the submissions, and to emphasize some new terminologies we have said we are going to cover over time, right? So this is fa, right? This is me, right? So this is so. Okay, this is fa, la, so this is fa. So I'm just going to erase that. Sorry for that. Okay, so this is fa, mi, right, and so on and so forth. It's going to be so, mi, and this will be do, right? This will be T, this will be re, do, then la. So I want to quickly emphasize some new things which we didn't cover, which we said we're going to see over time. So first of all is this this sign here, right? So I'm just going to highlight it. That's this symbol highlighted in yellow. Legato, moving smoothly. Legato, right? And basically what it means is that you are going to sing this note into this note smoothly, right? You sing smoothly, right? Basically that's what it means. So this song is when peace like a river. So I'm going to sing the soprano part. So fa mi re. So fa mi re fa la so fa mi. Now you can see fa la. It's not a break. There's no break such as the previous phrases, right? So fa mi re mi fa la. So between fa and la, you sing it smoothly into that note. So from fa and la, you sing it smoothly, right? So that's what the legato is. And if you go down here, you're also going to see another legato here, where you have it is well, right? So here you have it is well. This is so on this particular legato sign here, which is the same thing as what we highlighted in yellow earlier, right? It's the same legato that dictates for us to hold this note, right? This particular note. So we're going to hold this particular note. So that's soprano. It is well. While other parts are singing the notes that are written for them. So that's that with respect to legato. So we've seen example of two legatos. So the next comment I'm going to make. So let's just quickly transcribe. Let's see if we can quickly transcribe the bars part here. Since we've done that for the first two verses thereabouts for the soprano. So we have do here, we have so. Now you don't need to worry, you'll be faster with this over time, right? Right. So do, do, right, do, right, and this is me, right, and this is so. Now you have to be careful here. The two parts are singing the same note, so, right? And how you know is you have um this line coming down and going up, but you have one note, so it's showing you that it's actually notes for both bass and soprano, bass and tenor, right? So I'll just go straight to the other notes and transcribe. Then we move over to discuss. So this is fa, right? Me, and this is so, right? This is so. This is re, right? This is so, so, so. Same thing. So, and this is do, right? And this is do. This is so. This is la, la, right? This is T, and this is so, C. Now I'm going to go into why that is C. This is do, and this is la. So the second thing I wanted to emphasize is accidentals, right? So for the purpose of orderliness, I'm just going to write what we've done so far. First of all, we talked about legato, right? And basically it's just a curly line. You see, linking one note to the other just basically means you sing smoothly, right? You sing that note smoothly into the next note, right? Indicated on the sheet. The second thing we are discussing now is accidentals, right? Now, accidentals, real quick, we're just going to cover three types now, right? So we're going to cover the sharp, right? We cover flat, and then we cover the natural accidentals, right? So these are called, this is called a sharp sign. It's a flat sign. We have other, accidentals, double flat, double sharp, but we are just going to focus on these three for now. We'll discuss more in subsequent examples using real sheet music. So this is a sharp, and basically when you see a sharp, so let's go back to the sheet. When you see a sharp right here before the note, what it basically means is you raise the note by a half step or a semitone. So this will have been saw, right, if you transcribed it from basic transcription knowledge that you already have. This is saw, right? But because you have a sharp before the note, it is raised up a semitone higher. So that is C, right? Z, right? So Z. Now you're also going to see a sharp 2 here. You also have another sharp here. You have a lot of sharps. You have another sharp here. And this would have been, fa. But because it's sharpened to be fi, right? So write this as fi. So you sing fi here, right? So this sharp is sharpening just this note, right? You have another sharp 2 here, right? You have another sharp here. Now if you look closely at this sharp, we zoom it for you. If you look closely at this sharp, right, this sharp it's only applicable to this alto note, right? So it's only applicable to this alto note, right? And why is so? Sharps are written this way, and then you have two horizontal lines. Now the horizontal lines usually box the note that they sharpen, right? So you are going to see the note in between that. So this is an example, just to explain what we are talking about. So this particular sharp is sharpening this soprano note, and what that means is that the soprano singer would sing fi, right? Fi, right, instead of fa, right? because fi is a semitone above fa, right? So just transcribe real quick this other parts. Let's erase this and transcribe real quick this other parts. You have me, you have re, right? You have re here, right? You have la, right? You have so, right? So the song, go back to our Zoom, installed right away. So we just go so fa mi re mi fa la so fa mi so do ti la so fi so, right? So this is so right here, so, and the alto is singing re, right? So that is it. Now you have a dotted note here. Before we go to that, I'm going to cover the concept of bars and measure. Now a bar is basically the same thing as a measure, practically. So you can see this line, right? This particular vertical line, this vertical line, you have them all over the place, right? This vertical line, right? You have music written between them. Now the distance between these two vertical lines, this particular distance, right, it's a bar basically, right? So this is one bar, right? This is another bar, you know, when you go here, that's between this next vertical line and the next vertical line, you have another bar, right? So this is bar 2, bar 3, and so on and so forth. Your first bar is right here, right? Or it's called, some people call it measure, right? Between this and the beginning of your music, you know, that's where you have your first bar, right? So this is your bar 1, or some people call it measure, right? Measure 1, measure 2. Now this is important when we start talking about time signature, right? But we're not going to go into that so that this video is not too long, right? So let's go to our notes. We've talked about what a sharp is, and it's basically raising your notes, right? Raising the note by a semitone, right? Flattening a note is lowering the note by a semitone, right? So it's basically the opposite of flat, right? Lowering the note by a semitone, right? Natural is basically you sing the notes in the natural key, as in the key of C major, right? Let's get that to the screen. Okay, so then I think we also touched bars, right? Or measure, right? So we've talked about this, and we've seen what it is, right? So we go into the second example of an accidental. All right, so since this particular music is written in the key of C major, let's go back to, so we see this particular sign here, the natural sign, meaning that it's interpreted, it should be interpreted, you know, as E is in the key. Now this natural sign will affect this note, and this note is still basically fa. right? So this note will be the note F in whatever key it is. So if we were singing in the key of A flat, this will still be sung as F. And in the key of A flat, F will be the 6. So that's La, right? But because we're in the key of C, right, this is C Fa. So we don't really have much issues to worry about that from singing perspective. So this is Fa, so and so on and so forth. Like I said, we're not going to waste time explaining how to read the notes. We already did that in the previous class. You can go over that. So we're just covering examples of some challenges some of us had, you know. And don't forget this again. This indicates the same note is sung by two parts, right? You see the stem going down, the stem going up, and this note is La, right? So both of them are singing La, right? So yes, so the last we've seen accidentals, we've seen the natural, accidental, we've seen the sharp accidental. We do not have a flattened note, yes, so we'll cover that fully in subsequent examples. So I'm going to touch the last symbol here, which is this eyed symbol, which denotes a pause in the music, right? This particular symbol. So this symbol denotes a pause, right? It's called fermata, right? Fermata, right? Right. So what basically this symbol means is that you pause the music. So the conductor might decide to pause the music for like 5 seconds, for 10 seconds, for as long as the music requires, basically, and you will notice that so this is a pause, right? So I'm going to go over here and write this out. I've covered what a fermata is, right? Fermata, right? And you have this symbol. It's basically a pause in the music, right? So we go over to our sheet, and we are going to see that this particular music has double bar lines, after this fermata, right? So you have double bar lines. That's typically what you see after a fermata, right? After a pause, this double bar lines just indicates you have a very strong pause right here, and usually accompany the fermata. Now the difference between those double bar lines, now you can see another double bar line again after the fermata here, right? This fermata, you see the double bar line, right? So the difference between this double line 1 and this, right, double line 2 is this is a pause, while this signifies the end of the music, right? And you can see that the second line here, this particular line, is thick, right? Whereas this particular line here is thin, right? So you can just easily watch out for that and then not be confused. So as a recap, I'm going to use this black pen just to recap. We quickly transcribed the solfas of this particular sheet music. We know that it's in the key of C major because that was the key signature. I've covered that in the previous class. And then we also transcribed the notes based on what we understand from the previous class. And then we went further to talk about legato, which is basically singing smoothly into the next note. And then we went further to discuss what accidentals were. We said sharps raise the note by a semitone, flats raise the note, lower the note by a semitone, and then natural basically means that you are going to sing the note in the key of C major. So we already covered that, and then we went further to explain what a bar means. So for the purpose of brevity of this video, I'll just keep it as the distance between these two vertical bars, but we'll get more understanding of the significance of dividing music into bars when we talk about time signature, right? So we finally moved over to discuss what a pause is in music. Now basically we are explaining sheet music using an example that was given as an assignment, right? So this is fermata and it's a pause, and we talk about the double bar lines and the difference between the double bar lines after a fermata and the double bar lines that indicate the end of the music, right? So the last thing I'm going to discuss now is this particular note after this particular dot after this note. So I'm just going to talk about it. When we start talking about note values, we'll go more into details. So this particular note means that this particular dot, sorry, means that this note should be sung, a half longer than its value. So this particular note is a minim. Minims have a value of 2 bits basically. It's a 4/4 music. Now, like I said, don't worry about all of all these. We'll cover time signatures later. But for those of you that might just want to read ahead, this is a 4/4 music, right? And the value of this minim, right, is the value of this minim is 2 bits. Right? So this is a minim, right? This particular note is that's this with shaded notes, and just a stem is a crochet, right? So these have a value of 2 bits. As minims, they have a value of 2 bits, and crochets have a value of 1 bit, right? So if you see a dot which are indicated here, it means that this note will now carry a value of, that's this particular minim will carry a value of 3 bits. That's 2 plus half of 2, which is equal to 3. So 2 bits plus 1, which is half of 2, right? So the new value will be 3 bits, right? And then this still remains 1 bit. So the total bit in this particular bar, don't forget, this is what we call a bar. This is what we call a bar. As the distance between this and this, right? Distance between this and this. So you can see this note has a value of, this minim has a value of 3 bits, and this particular crochet has a value of 1 bit, so that's 4 bits, right? And you can see that that dot altered the value of that note. So that's really a quick one. Another example is here, this particular bar. You can see these 2 dots. Basically, they indicate that this particular note is extended by half a bit, because the original value of a crochet, of which this note is, as highlighted earlier here, has a value of 1 bit, right? We've talked about that here. So when you see a dot here, basically it becomes 1 bit plus half bit. So the new value is 1.5 bits, and then you have a quiver here which has a value of half bits, so you have 2 bits in total plus the minim, which is 2 bits, so you have 4 bits still. Right, so that's the last thing I wanted to cover, and we'll get more into this with time signature. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can drop your comments. That will be all for now. See you in the next classes.